Hi, this is a tutorial that will help you put together your video for the virtual choir performance of Gesù Bambino. I want to start by saying that the primary purpose of the video is to look like you're performing the song. We don't want to see you looking at your music. We don't want to see you looking bored or boring. We want to see you animated. We want to make sure you have a good background. This is a terrible background. The lake's got a lot of reflection today, so it's kind of affecting the picture. Take a background that sort of lets you be clear. Again, the main purpose is that you look good performing the song, okay? So some things to practice ahead of time is where you're going to put your music. Oh, one other thing, well, I'll get to it in a minute, I guess. Where you're going to put your music. You want to make sure you put it in a place where we don't see you holding it. So you want to keep it low, or you want to have it, above the video, taped to the wall, so that you can look at it. Something you want to memorize it, but we don't want to see the music in this video, if at all possible. If we do see the music, it's not the end of the world. Please don't stress about it, but that's the goal, okay, to look like you're performing the piece. Where are you going to position the camera? Because I have a couple things in here I'm trying to do, it's hard for me to position the camera correctly for a performance. Like you can see, my head is being kind of lopped off. You want to make sure that you put yourself in a place when you're performing where you're about chest to head with a little bit of space above your head. So something like this. Okay, without the weird hands. I'm actually like crouching right now. So where are you gonna put the camera? Where's the space you're gonna rehearse in? As I said, this is a bad space. You want to sort of have a neutral background, something that is maybe got a little texture to it, but not all this kind of glare and things like that. You also want to think about what you're wearing. Now, I don't believe there's a dress code for this. We don't want you wearing like formal tuxedos, performance attire. What I would suggest is to wear something what I call professional nice. This is probably too casual, maybe have a nice sweater on or a nice button-down shirt. For the gals, a nice blouse. Look nice. It was suggested that people wear red and green for the holiday season. That's fine, but it actually makes the editing a little bit harder if a lot of people have red on, and then we got to separate the people in the red in the video, or a lot of people have green on, and then we have to separate the people in the green. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you want to red and green, that's fine, but it's not required. In short, look nice. Look nice. One thing that was really important with the audio was quiet page turns and make sure the volume was strong on the audio and there was no outside noise. For the video, that doesn't matter. We are not going to be using what you sound like. We're going to mute all the sound. All we're going to use for the video is your visual performance that then we're going to line up with the audio performance. So what is important, as I said before, is to look good when you're performing this piece and to move your mouths in rhythm to the piece. Meaning if you want to sing the piece, that's fine. Sing your part, that's fine. But if it's going to throw you off, don't do it. Just speak the words in rhythm. When blossoms flowered amid the snows upon a winter's night. Speak the words clearly and look animated. Try not to sing like this. A lot of people don't breathe ahead of time when we see these videos, so it's kind of hard to line up. Try not to go but when blossoms flowered. Try and make sure we can see where you're starting and where you're stopping. The whole point of the video is to look good and to make a clear enough video that we can line up your mouths with your audio. Okay? Hopefully that's clear. I do want to emphasize, especially to Shoreline Chorale people who've done a couple of these, that we're doing a little bit of a different visual for this. The boxes that you're all going to be in virtual choir, each of your individual boxes, is going to be more about this size. In the past, it's been smaller. So what you look like, we can kind of hide. It's going to be harder to hide what you look like in this video. So make sure you are aware of that you look good from the chest up, that you're performing the song, and that you're animated when you're singing, speaking. Okay? So the process itself is pretty easy. You need only 3 things for this. You need the Shoreline Chorale website piece you're going to be singing or speaking to. You need something to record, and you need your music. You don't need your earbuds for this because again, we're going to be muting the sound, so it doesn't matter if we hear the recording with the video, okay? So, step 1 is you sort of make sure your music's set where it's going to be, where we're not going to see it. I'm going to put it right there so I can kind of look at it as I'm looking at the camera. Oh, one other thing, make sure you realize that you're not looking at the center of the screen. You're looking at where the camera is. You can see that's where the camera is, right there. Okay, so make sure you're looking at the camera in your recording. Okay, so I go to Shoreline Chorale website. I hit Russ directing the piece bass video. That's all ready to go. I go to my iPhone and I select camera. I move it to, right now it's on photo, so I move it to video. I set that up. I double check to make sure that I'm nice and centered from about the chest to above the head. Ready to go. Got my music ready. I do one last check and we should be ready to go. I push play. It says start my recording. Recording. It says get ready to clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. Now, the violin will be in the video here, but you need to stay in focus at the beginning of the piece and for 4 or 5 seconds at the end of the piece so we can edit you in. So I'm looking at my camera. Let's say the camera's here. I'm recording. I'm animated. I'm ready to go. When blossoms flowered amid the snows upon a winter's night, etc. And I go through the piece. Now I happen to have a recording glitch in as I was doing it here, so I have to do it again, and them's the breaks of the game. But I go through the whole piece. I make sure at the end of the piece I hold my animated pose for 4 or 5 seconds. The piece just ends. And then I stop my recording. We need a little bit at the end that then we can edit out when we need to. So don't just finish the piece and then go to turn it off. Make sure you give us 4 or 5 seconds at the end of the piece that then we can lop off when we edit. Okay? Only thing left to do, I believe, is just save this. So what I do is I open it up. In the lower, let me go back because I wasn't sure I was clear there. On my phone, in the lower left-hand corner is where all my videos and pictures are stored. So I just tap on it and there's the video. It's a black screen for right now. Then the lower part's got all these icons: trash, edit, sound, start, stop, a heart, and then a send icon. I tap the send icon. And then you're going to have, I need to say that this is much harder to get done than the audio because it's a much bigger file. You can't email it to Michelle. You have 3 options I give you, and if none of those work, contact me and we'll figure out another way. You can text it to Michelle, 860-575-4407. You can send it to her Gmail Drive. Look at the written instructions for instructions on how to do that. Or if you are familiar with using a transfer program like WeTransfer, you can send it to her that way. None of those three options work. Contact me, we'll figure it out. Okay? So I am going to send it to her Gmail Drive. So I scroll to Drive. And what's happening is, because this is going to take a while, so I'm not going to show you the finished product here. It's preparing the video to send. Okay? About 3/4 through. Now it's ready to send. So I say send to her Drive. Okay, and then it's going to tell me in the right-hand corner to upload. Okay, so I hit the upload. And this is the part I'm not going to do now because this is going to probably take 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So this will go through the upload process and then it will go to her Drive. Okay? Make sure when you send it to her Drive, you rename it, with your Jesu Bambino, your part, alto, soprano, tenor, bass, and your name, Russ Hammond, Jane Smith, Joe Blow. And then that should be it. Okay? Any questions, let me know. Hopefully that's helpful, and thanks a lot.